So you guys were I'm hearing all you guys wanted the theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. It's like it's all I did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it. Okay, guys. Here's Simba. My Lion King right here. He is a kitty, but he is my Lion King. Aren't you, Simba? So yeah. Yep, we watch Mufasa. Finally, but I just want to show you guys. Don't do that to them, Simba. You both. This is hard to present this camera. Yep, there he is. There you guys go. So, what'd you think of this movie?
I didn't watch it. I was in here sleeping. I'm not in this movie except for the beginning of it and then the end of it. Okay?
Alright, so, yep, I watched it, guys, for you. I was gonna watch, like, the Smurfs, then this would become the Disney Plus. Like, okay, might as well make this be the movie I watch for you guys. Gave me to 900 subscribers, and because I'm at the point where I have not seen these live-action movies, so because I stopped watching them until they come to Disney Plus, and some of them I still not seen yet. Like I still not seen the Mulan one. I don't know if I want to. I just don't like where that one takes place near one of those Chinese camps. And I have not seen Maleficent, Mistress of All Evil yet. I have not seen the Snow White one, but I don't watch these until they come to Disney Plus because I don't want to support them, and so I don't know. I don't want to have to pay money for them, but I'll like do the if somebody does take me to them, I'll pay for the accessions because I don't want to support them. Rather support the theaters. I do. This movie was not so bad. I've seen worse versions, even though this is technically not a live-action movie, even though it's based off of it's a prequel to the live-action. I really count it as a prequel to live-action because I don't count those as canon because I don't like the fact that them making Mufasa and Scar not related. I mean, and this is technically the third time we've seen in order how Taka gets his scar, because we have seen him get his scar by a wildebeest and the tale of two brothers, where they're still brothers, and then I have not seen Lion Guard, but I've like seen clips from it, and I think he gets it from like a snake in that one. Here he gets it from lion that Mufasa's fighting. I don't even know these other lions' names that die in this movie, because that's how like I was not interested in it. Like there's parts in here I did like. I like mostly like the very end of it. Before I was kind of bored. I mean, I did like I Always Wanted a Brother, even though I found that song, the irony song, because the fact that Scar ends up killing him in the future, and twice Scar ends up saving him the same exact way he ends up killing him by helping him up instead of him letting him go. Is this real? This is more both. Is it all of their origins? We get to see how he meets Rafiki, how he meets Sarabi, how he meets Zazu, how Scar. Well, I knew we were gonna see how he gets a Scar, but the whole thing with Rafiki getting his staff. Did you really need to know that? Couldn't you just meet these guys with a staff? finding out that Pride Rock was formed with a Earthshake, which that was pretty cool. But sometimes this movie does have good, like could have does look good, but most of the time I was bored up until like the very end, right when Scar figures out that Sarabi and Mufasa are in love, because Scar falls in love with him. Falls in love with Sarabi and gets jealous when he finds out that Mufasa's fallen in love with her, and like he's supposed to be king because he is his dad's a king. His some like they're not related in this version. They're Scar and Simba are adopted brothers. And there's like no hint in the animated movie that the fact that Mufasa calls him in the cartoon, "Why isn't it my big brother? I'm not high the men with the comforters." Like he calls him his big brother, like he's older than him. So you always think that he's actually older than him. There's like no hint of these two being adopted. But whatever. We like see Mufasa loses his dad in a very similar way that Simba loses his father. Well, not exactly, because one drowns and try to save him, but that's like the closest way. That both of them had to watch their dad die, but not, and somehow the mom survives that flood. That was like pretty big. That's so big that elephant would be underwater, which I did pretty deep with how big the elephants are. And then Taka, because if you don't know, Taka is the African word for trash, garbage, and also like, so it's kind of funny that ends up being his name, his real name, until he gets his scar, until he betrays Mufasa. Because once, and then they had this big pack of lions that are called the Outsiders, and like people already think that one of these lionesses is Zira from the Lion King 2. Like, I don't know, I don't remember her being this white, because these are very white lions, so I don't remember her being that white. She was like a little bit more darker than the other lions, so I find it weird that these cats think. I know they're called the Outsiders, but does not mean they're the actual Outsiders from the second movie. But you can think if one of these guys is Zira. We don't know where Zira is. Like, we don't even get to, we still, like, in the dumb remake, they did not add her into there. They could have added her in there somehow. I know they wanted to do a beat for beat, but they could have like added her in there, like, because since there's fans of the second movie like me, it's not as good as the original, but I do like it. They could have like hinted like for it, like showed like Zira, Batani, and Nuka in like a little cub version of Kovu, but they didn't, and they didn't do that here. I mean, one of them could be, but there's like no hint. Nobody was called Zira, but people like to fantasize. But yeah. So, and they have Zazu end up being taking care of Sarabi in this, and that's all they end up meeting. So Mufasa ends up being like the outsider to this group for what they call him Stray. But Mufasa, the Scar treats but like a brother right when he gets there. And they sing "I Always Wanted a Brother" song, but Foss is forced to be with the lionesses, and he's like really good at hunting. He's like good at sensing and stuff like that, and saying and not knowing like when someone is like really far away. I don't think lions actually do that, but okay, you want to give Foss like a weird power, I guess you can, but this sounds weird. They have this pack of lions, the Outsiders, come and attack, and Foss ends up killing the son of the leader of the Outsiders, and he wants to like kill every single all the male lions and like chase the females off that don't want to join them, and so he can be the only king of the Lion King, the only Lion King. But he's mad at Mufasa for killing his son, and so now he's chasing them after them. He was going to chase after them anyway, and they end up killing Scar's family, and they end up leaving. They meet Sarabi, Zazu, and Rafiki, who leads them to Malele, which is pretty much the Pride Lands. And during this, so it's, I don't know, this kind of reminds me a little bit of like Land for Time, because how they like meet a friend, they learn a little bit about their backstory, then they all like go to the Great Valley. So that's what this kind of remind me of. But, and because I don't really see this as any version of, because all these versions of like Lion King movies are supposed to be like some version of Shakespeare, but I can't like find any versions of this to be for Shakespeare. Like Lion King is obviously Hamlet. The second one's Romeo and Juliet, and there's also a play where we meet. I forgot what Lion King 1 has supposed to be. That's supposed to be like another play of two characters who like watching Hamlet. So, but yeah. So, and then we end, and then Scar sees both Sarabi and Mufasa singing their version, making the Love Tonight song. Not literally, but it's pretty much that. And he gets jealous because he realizes that Mufasa's falling in love, that those two fall in love with each other, because she ends up saving Sarabi. Mufasa is saving Sarabi in a fight. They try to make it look like Scar did it, because Mufasa is supposed to protect him and like make sure he becomes king and make sure he stays alive. But and he wants to have Sarabi be his queen. But Sarabi's fallen in love with Mufasa, and so is he. And so now he's jealous, and now he hates his brother, and goes and betrays him, and leads to, because before Zazu made it where they could not follow them in the snow by covering up the snow, make sure they can't follow them, so they can make it to Mount Lele. What I don't like, the fact they don't ever call these lands Pride Lands. He like leads them to them by using scratching the mountain so they can lead them to them, and then they have like a big fight, and there's like an earthquake where they form Pride Rock, and they've also found Rafiki's tree, and he starts calling Mufasa his brother. He ends up beating the white lion. And I did not like I don't think anybody likes his villain song, the Bye Bye song. Looks like something that NSYNC would write, because it's literally saying bye bye. So yeah. Only song I like, ironically, was I Always Wanted a Brother. I think that is the best song out of here, even though I technically find it ironic. But I think that is technically the best one. And then we have like a water fight where we have the rock hit the white lion, and we have Kiara and Mufasa both warring at the same exact time, which is pretty cool. And we see Mufasa in the sky. I did like, at the very beginning of the movie, they did have like a little tribute to James Earl Jones. He died right around the time this movie came in and went to theater, so they would have to add it in right at the time, because the movie was already finished by the time he died. So they would have to add, that's probably one of the last things they had to add it in at the very beginning. So I did like that. What I did not like is that stupid. I hate the fact this in the dumb live action one, Timon and Pumbaa were like the only good parts in it. Here they're annoying. Like, if I wanted to watch these guys interrupt the story, I would go watch Lion King 1.5, because that fits that story. This doesn't really fit that story where they're interrupting. And why don't you just let Rafiki tell the story to Kiara while Nala's giving birth. Like, because at the very end of the movie, she comes back with Kion. Like, she definitely gave birth to him while this happened. Like, so she just left. Her and Simba left for her to give birth. Like, they have not gone long enough for her to be pregnant. She hadn't even be given birth. Because they were like gone for how many days? Like, I would say like 3 or maybe 1. I don't know. It's hard to tell as it was raining. But yeah, because the fact they make Kion walk home right after he's born, and I don't think lions learn to walk that fast. I don't know. Do they? I know horses do, but I don't know if lions do. Learn how to walk right after they're born, because I know kittens. Cats don't, because if you have ever had a cat be born right in front of you, it takes them a while for them to learn how to walk, but okay. There is some parts I did like, and some parts I did not like. Like, I guess most of this movie is boring. So, but there are some parts that I did like. It was mostly like the end that I liked. So when I started hearing the scores from the older movie, from the original movies. So I did like that they put the scores in, like when Simba's walking up the mountain after he beats walking up Pride Rock after he beats Scar. That score was in here, and then the score of like the one when he's like around the animals. I'm trying to remember what score that was, but I can't. I know, but that, like, right when they get to Pride Lands, they started playing the scores from the movie, from the original movie, and that kind of hits me right in my familiar bone, because I love that first movie, and you play the score, not just have them like do some silly rendition of the movie where they don't do the songs right, like they did in the live action movie. But here, when they start just doing the scores in the background, that's better. They also mention the stage, the Broadway play, which is weird. How would these guys know about the Broadway play? I think it was like Zazu or Timon and Pumbaa mentioned it. But okay, whatever. So, I mean, this movie's not as bad as the live action one. Because the live action one was terrible. Sometimes these animals do have some emotion, like they do like smile sometimes, but they still need to work on it and fix it a little bit more. Because if I had to compare, I think the movie that actually does a good job showing like cats, a lion that looks real, having emotion, is those Narnia movies with Aslan, because that was like way before this movie came out. Those 2 movies came out, and yet he's able to like smile, laugh, and stuff like that, and have emotions. So I don't know. That's why I just like the anime one better, because it's so hard. It seems so hard for these guys to make it look like these things. I mean, it's better this time around, but it's not quite there yet. And the fact is that sometimes I can't tell Scar and Mufasa apart. Mufasa's actually darker than Scar when it's supposed to be the other way around. Like, it's so hard to make a cat make these lions look brown. But yeah, probably gonna give this one like a. I did like the very end of it, and I do now want to watch that part of Lion Guard now. I don't know if I'm watching on her thing, but I just know that because I'm used for preschool. That stuff is preschoolers. It's gonna be really hard for me to sit through it. But yeah, I'm probably gonna give this one like a. This movie barely is. This movie is like a 5.5. It's barely watchable. I would say this is average. I mean, I know it's made. It's probably because how much money this movie made at the box office. It made more money than the Sonic 3 did, because for a while Sonic 3 was beating it, but then eventually this ended up being it. So we're probably gonna get a second Lion King remake. So I don't know. I know Snow White's not doing so well right now, but we'll see what happens. And I know we're already getting Lilo and Stitch and Mulan, but they did shelve the Rapunzel, the Tangled one. So yeah. Which does that mean that Bob Iger and Disney are finally getting the hint that we don't that most people don't want these? They want them to come with original ideas. So I'll see you guys later. So 5.5. Give me up to 1,000. I'll do another. I'll review another one of these. Thank you guys for giving me up to how many do I have? I almost have like 927. Recording this. So give me up to 1,000 so I can watch another one of these for you guys. So see you guys later. Like, favorite, subscribe, and bye bye.